Hello everyone, my name is Leah and it is now October, which can only mean one thing, which is Halloween is nearly here, and then it's going to be Christmas, and then it's going to be the New Year, and then this year's gone. Where is the time going? But yeah, this year one of my work colleagues is throwing a Halloween party. She did one last year and it was a last minute decision. I went as my wrestling Spider-Man. But I want to go with something else this year, but all my finished costumes are too big and too clunky to actually go to someone's house and actually get involved in a party. So instead of spending money on trying to get a new costume together for just one night, I set myself a challenge, which was a zero budget, pretty much costume that I had to make with stuff I only had around the house. I used two different methods for it because I ran out of fabric paint for the first half and had to make up something else to do the other half with. So you guys can see two different methods I used to make the Carnage Symbiote, and whichever one you guys like best. If you wanted to replicate this, if you didn't have any ideas of what to do for Halloween, or if this is going to be like a last minute thing for you, because this took me about 3-4 days to actually get done. Most of that was spent waiting for paint to dry. So if you have some free time, you can probably get it done pretty quickly.
For this project you will need a short sleeve shirt and a tight long sleeve shirt. I used part of an old ruined morph suit instead of a long sleeve shirt for mine. Hot glue gun and glue sticks, tulip fabric paint, which works best for this project, or normal fabric paint or acrylic, whatever you have to hand at the time. Sheet of 2mm craft foam and some cheap Halloween makeup. First I got the old morph suit and marked out where I wanted to cut it for the symbiote part of the costume, as it would cover my whole left arm, minus the hand, and across part of my chest and back. After it was cut out, I stuffed the fingers with tissue paper and placed a cardboard tube up the length of the arm in order to paint it to get rid of the green colour. If you have a black or red shirt, this isn't necessary, and at the time I had no black paint to cover it with. I then used the tulip fabric paint to pipe on a messy pattern along the arm until I ran out of it. This is the best method as the colours are bright and it dries shiny and has a good texture. However, this paint does take around 4 hours to dry, so you need to do it in little sections. I then picked up a cheap shirt as I had no old shirts to part with, and marked out areas to put rips into, as Cletus Cassidy is an insane killer, so it made sense to have a more ripped up shirt rather than a clean one. Then just cut the shirt where it needed to be and use the edge of the scissor blades to roughen up the edges of the rips and other areas of the shirt. For a little bit more detail, and with it being Halloween, I added some fake blood spatters using cheap stage blood that came with the makeup to the front and back of the shirt, so I would have some dried blood, just adding a little bit more detail. To make a claw hand for the symbiote, I used the craft foam and cut it into a triangle shape before gluing a small strip to keep the bottom part together. Then stuck the remaining foam over the whole of the claw and painted it with some remaining fabric paint and acrylic. When everything on the shirt had dried, I pinned the two pieces in place and hot glued them together. I then started filling in some more paint on the front so I could allow it to dry whilst working on the back. For the back, where I didn't have enough tulip fabric paint, I used hot glue to give the suit texture and went around the seams where it was attached to the shirt to make it look like tendrils spreading across it. I found acrylic was better suited to painting the hot glue, and I just used my normal fabric paint to fill in the rest. When all the painting was done, I then cut off the hand and tweaked the sleeve so the pattern between it and the claw matched better and there was no green on the inside showing. Finally, it was onto the face paint. This is optional as it's only done using cheap Halloween face paint, but I wanted to add something else to the costume, especially as it's going to a party. First, I darkened under my eyes using a little bit of red and blended in some black. I put a little black around the cheekbones and around my neck and shoulder. Then just drew in some red and black tendrils coming from this symbiote and onto my face. And there you have it, one cheap Carnage costume. Now you can be a psychopathic half alien to your heart's content. Hope you enjoyed this video guys, happy Halloween, and I will see you all in the next one.